There is something I notice almost every day in Laguna Woods, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You see people in their 70s, 80s, even their 90s living active, engaged, independent lives, walking daily, playing pickleball, golfing, taking classes, meeting friends, trying new things. And it challenges a lot of assumptions about aging, because what you realize is that aging well is not just about luck. It's about habits, it's about environment, and it's about how you choose to live. So in this video, I want to talk about what I call peak life in Laguna Woods, how to stay strong, active, healthy, and independent in this stage of life, and why this community can actually support that in a powerful way. If we have not met, welcome. I'm Mark Blunden. I'm a trusted real estate advisor here in Laguna Woods Village and across South Orange County. I'm also founder of Peak Life Fitness, and what I focus on is helping people not just find the right home, but build the right life. Because where you live and how you live are deeply connected. And today, we're bringing those two worlds together. I think one of the biggest mindset shifts is realizing that aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean refining, becoming more intentional, more focused, more aware of what actually matters. And Laguna Woods is one of the few places I have seen where that shift is visible every single day. You see people who are not winding down, they're leaning in, they're learning, they're socializing, they're moving, staying engaged, and I think that starts with mindset. Because if you believe this stage of life is about decline, you tend to live that way. But if you see it as an opportunity, you show up differently. If there is one habit that matters most, it is movement. Not extreme workouts, not complicated routines, just consistent movement. That's walking, swimming, golf, pickleball, strength training. And what is powerful about Laguna Woods is that movement is built into the environment. You do not have to go searching for it. It's right outside your door. And that matters because the easier something is to do, the more likely you are to keep doing it. And consistency always beats intensity. One thing I've learned through years of coaching is that movement does not have to be impressive to be effective. A 20-minute walk counts, a swim counts, a few sets of strength exercises at home count. What matters is accumulating those activities consistently over months and years. And one of the things I love about Laguna Woods is that movement is naturally woven into daily life. You walk to the clubhouse, you walk to meet friends, you walk to an activity, you play a round of golf, you take a fitness class, you garden, you swim, and these activities may seem ordinary in isolation, but together they create a lifestyle that keeps people moving far more than they realize. When I look around Laguna Woods, I often see people in their 70s, 80s and beyond doing things that many people assume are no longer possible at those ages. And that's not an accident. It's the result of years of consistent movement. Now, this is where I lean into my coaching side a little bit. Strength is the game changer because strength supports everything. Getting out of a chair, walking up the stairs, carrying groceries, balance, posture, confidence, and one of the biggest mistakes people make is avoiding strength training as they get older, when in reality, this is when it becomes most important. You do not need to train like an athlete, but you need to challenge your muscles 2 to 3 times per week, simple movements, body weight is fine, or light resistance training, and over time that builds a level of resilience that shows up in everyday life. Let's come back to something simple: walking. Walking improves cardiovascular health, mental clarity, mood, energy, and sleep. It reduces stress, it improves mobility, and one of the beautiful things about Laguna Woods is how easy it is to build walking into your daily routine. There are safe paths, green belts, trails, beautiful surroundings, and when something feels good, you're more likely to keep doing it. This is not talked about enough: balance, stability, and coordination, because falls are one of the biggest risks as we age. And the good news is, balance is trainable. Simple things like standing on one leg, slow controlled movements, light strength training, even practicing getting up and down from the floor. These small things have a massive impact over time. And when you combine strength and balance, you dramatically increase independence. Hi, it's Mark here. If you're exploring 55+ communities in Orange County, such as Laguna Woods Village, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, we'll walk you through everything from floor plans to financing, HOAs, and monthly costs. Call, text, email, or schedule a Zoom below. We're here to make your move simple and stress-free. This one surprises people, but it's one of the most powerful factors in long-term health: social connection. People who stay socially engaged tend to live longer, feel better, have more energy, and maintain cognitive health longer. And Laguna Woods is incredibly strong in this area. Over 250 clubs, classes, activities, events. You can join a hiking group, a photography group, a card group, a fitness class, and what happens is you're not just staying active physically, you're staying engaged mentally and socially. And that combination is incredibly powerful, because isolation is one of the biggest risks to health as we age. Connection is one of the biggest protectors. I also think there's something important that happens when you move into a community where social opportunities are all around you. You stop having to work so hard to create connection. Many people spend years in traditional neighborhoods where they barely know their neighbors. Then they arrive in Laguna Woods and suddenly there are clubs, classes, volunteer opportunities, performances, social groups, and events happening every week. The result is that friendships often form naturally, and those friendships become part of the support system that helps people stay active, optimistic, and engaged. When people talk about aging successfully, they often focus on physical health, but emotional health matters too. And meaningful relationships are a huge part of that equation. There is something else I've noticed here in Laguna Woods Village. Many residents remain independent far longer than they expected. I don't think that's by accident. I think independence is a skill, and a skill has to be practiced. Think about the small things that make up daily life: walking to an activity, carrying groceries, driving a golf cart, meeting friends, attending a class, taking care of your home, navigating your day. All those activities may seem ordinary, but they're all forms of training. Every time you do them, you're reinforcing strength, confidence, decision-making, coordination, and self-reliance. One of the things I love about Laguna Woods is that it creates opportunities to keep practicing those skills. The community is supportive, the amenities are accessible, the activities are close by, and because of that, many people continue doing things for themselves rather than gradually giving those responsibilities away. The result is often a greater sense of confidence, capability, and independence. And I think that is one of the hidden reasons so many people thrive here. Not because life becomes easier, but because the environment encourages people to keep participating in life. Now, let's talk about energy, because energy is everything, and energy comes largely from how you fuel your body. You don't need complicated diets for the most part, you just need consistency. Real food, enough protein to support your muscle, hydration, balanced meals, and paying attention to how your body responds. One thing I often tell clients is this: do not focus on restriction, focus on fueling. When you fuel your body properly, energy improves, recovery improves, and everything else becomes easier. This may be the most important piece of all. Purpose, routine, structure. Having something to wake up for, something to look forward to, people to see, places to go, goals, even small ones. And this is something I see consistently in Laguna Woods. People who stay engaged stay alive in a deeper sense. They're not drifting, they're participating. And purpose does not have to be big. It can be a morning walk, a weekly class, a lunch with friends, a hobby, a project. But it matters. And one thing I notice when I meet the happiest residents and clients in Laguna Woods is that they almost always have a rhythm to their week. Maybe they play pickleball or cards on Mondays, they volunteer on Wednesdays, attend a club meeting on Thursdays, meet their friends for coffee or lunch on a Friday. They have structure, anticipation, and a reason to get up and get moving. And that matters because retirement is not just about stopping work, it's about replacing that structure with something meaningful. People who seem to thrive here are often the people who intentionally create that next chapter rather than simply waiting for life to happen. And this is where everything comes together. Environment matters more than most people realize. If you're in an environment that supports movement, you move more. If you're in an environment that supports connection, you connect more. If you're in an environment that supports activity, you stay active. And Laguna Woods does that very well. It lowers the barrier to living well. And when the barrier is lower, consistency becomes easier. And when consistency becomes easier, results follow. There's another advantage here that often gets underlooked: Southern California weather. The ability to be outdoors almost year-round is incredibly powerful. When it's easy to go for a walk in January, meet friends on a patio in February, play golf in March, or spend time gardening in April, healthy habits become easier to maintain. Then there's the broader Orange County lifestyle. Within minutes of Laguna Woods Village, you have beaches, hiking trails, coastal walks, parks, restaurants, beautiful outdoor spaces. That creates opportunities for activity and exploration far beyond the gates of the village. In many ways, Laguna Woods provides the community while Orange County provides the playground. And together they create a powerful environment for living well. And this is what peak life means. It doesn't mean perfection, it doesn't mean extreme performance, it means living at your best with what you have right now. It means staying strong, staying mobile, staying engaged, staying curious, continuing to grow, and approaching this stage of life with intention, not passively, but actively. And that is something I see every day in Laguna Woods, and it's incredibly inspiring. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about peak life is that it's about achieving some perfect version of yourself. It's not. Peak life is about maximizing the opportunities available to you today. It's about having the strength to travel when you want to travel, the mobility to explore when you want to explore, energy to spend time with family and friends, and the confidence that comes from knowing your body is capable of supporting the life you want to live. And that looks different for everyone. For one person, it may be walking 3 miles every morning. For another, it may be playing 18 holes of golf. And for another, it may be keeping up with the grandchildren. But the underlying goal is the same: to remain capable, independent, and engaged for as long as possible. And that, to me, is what living your peak life is all about. At the end of the day, peak life isn't really about fitness. Fitness is just one of the tools. Peak life is about maintaining the freedom to live life on your terms for as long as possible. And when I look around Laguna Woods, I see people doing exactly that every day. I'd love to hear from you. What are the habits that have helped you stay healthy and active? Drop them in the comments. And if you're thinking about your next chapter and want help creating a lifestyle that supports this kind of living, feel free to reach out. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, because we're going to be building out more in this Peak Life Laguna Woods Village series. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.